What's up, you guys, bro? Madden 24 gameplay is now here. EA just released a video of a gameplay video of Madden NFL 24. Everything looked really good. Like I said, I know a lot of you guys be hating on Madden, guys, but when they played this game, guys, it looked really good, bro. Like, the defense looked like they got their mind on set. They're not fooling around. The offense looked really good. The passing looked really good, especially that momentum pass, as you can see here. That looked really good. They keep their speed, no slowing down, no glitching. Like, everything looks all right. Everything looks really great. Like, I'm really satisfied what they did with Madden 24. Like, I think they did really good. The celebrations and everything looks well. I don't think we've seen this before. That's a new celebration, I think. I don't think that was in the game before. Anyway, guys, I'll let you guys listen to some of the gameplay, and yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. So let's get it.
Such a short time from beta to now, it's changed a lot.
It could potentially be more tuning passes. As the game lives, we want to be in tune with our players, and we want to be able to react swiftly if we can.
It's the faded two words, live service. That's what it is, right?
Live service, the gift.
See that play right there. We saw some of the new locomotion in the game. Those rat catches and passing to the flats and drag routes. It seems like it's just a whole lot smoother. They're not losing speed on those plays.
Yeah, a big effort went into allowing receivers to maintain their momentum. I think if you played this game before, you've experienced a very frustrating moment where you see a receiver that's beat a defensive back. Wow, that's one of the new mid-air catch tackles there. But you see a situation where the receiver beats the defensive back, and as you throw it, he slows down to make the catch. The defender does not slow down, and it's a very frustrating moment. So a lot of effort went into allowing receivers to maintain their momentum. So these rat catches now, if you hit a receiver in stride, it's a beautiful play. It feels good. It's smooth, like you said, and oftentimes it leads to a very big game.
Seems like these zones are reacting quicker. Like they getting to the ball way faster.
Clef, you called it out. Like we tune zones. Obviously, zone rating is important here, but if these players can see the ball, we tuned it where they react faster. Not only did we tune it where they react to the ball faster, we made them more aggressive. In the past, oftentimes, if they were positioned behind the receiver, they were told to play the receiver. But this year, certain players, we're telling them to be more aggressive and play the ball. And the result is you're seeing guys fly down, make interceptions. You're seeing them make tackles at the catch point, and you're seeing a lot more knockouts as a result of it.
And so as a franchise guy where, ratings are the be-all, end-all, if I have a guy with a higher zone rating, he's going to react faster than somebody with a lower zone rating?
Absolutely. I mean, and you'll be able to see it. Like, this is not something you'll need to go back and
time it up to see the millisecond.
Yeah, you'll see it.
Just another thing to look for when we go into those draft classes. Find the high zone guys so that they'll react. And there's one of those knockout animations we're seeing.
Absolutely. And that was a high pass, too. So I want to talk briefly about that. High pass was something that was used a lot. It was the meta last cycle as well, and we wanted to...
it was the meta everywhere, not just MUT, franchise. It was everywhere.
We attacked it from a few different angles. For one, you now have a chance of throwing in an accurate pass when you attempt a high pass. That's on the passing side. On the catching side, if the receiver has to contort his body in a weird way to make the catch, he can just drop it because he's contorting weird. So we addressed it on the catching side, and it's a lot more animation content where defensive backs can't hit receivers while they're in the air jumping. So
well, even on that drop touchdown, that was something that I think last year was probably caught most of the time because they'd get hit in that midair and they just sort of come down with it.
Sure.
Now that ball's getting pried free.
And depending on ratings, he could have still hung on to it, but you're seeing new animation content. You're seeing these guys be able to interact with these receivers going up for the ball.
I got to ask Clef, how does moving with Josh Allen out of the pocket feel?
It feels amazing. It's one of the first things I noticed is just how much I can get outside the pocket and still be accurate on the run.
We just saw, I think, some new messaging on there at the bottom. It said high throw drop. So you talked about, there's a chance, he was kind of in coverage there, so making that high catch was going to be tough. But it's going to tell you if your receiver just straight up dropped the ball and it wasn't deflected. It was just a drop.
Absolutely. Just giving you as much feedback as possible. We're going to tell you whether or not the pass was accurate or not, and then we're going to tell you the result.
Des, does this feel somewhere in between? Madden 22 was the year of the escape artist. Madden 23, it felt like it was the year of putting that escape artist back into the jail cell so they can't escape. Does this feel like somewhere in the middle, Des, as you're scrambling with Patrick Mahomes? Because it seems more fluid, but not quite as OP as it was in 22.
Oh, it feels perfect. I feel like it's just the right balance where, like, the defense can still catch up to him, but at the end of the day, it's Patrick Mahomes, it's Josh Allen. Like, they're gonna make their plays at the end of the day. So I'm really liking like the balance right now. Oh jeez.
All right, I think we're gonna get Clef to call a little PA slot cross. This was a meta play of all meta plays, and it was took advantage of the defense because of how the flip worked. Talk to me how it's different this year.
Yeah, so we would see our players run this play, flip it, and instead of the players crossing field, you just would give that route, that seam route, you would give it to the receiver. And if you had some speed over there, it gave defenses fits. And it was a rather easy fix. That we just said, if you're going to flip the play, we're going to make the tight end cross the field. He's going to keep his route, and our video game defensive coordinators are going to sleep a whole lot better because of that change.
Just all your PA slot cross tight end fans, got some bad news for you. You're not going to be able to just manipulate that to the wide receiver gets the route you wanted. And you can already see the difference here, even just like in sort of a stock adjusted defense.
Oh my God.
The coverage was a lot better downfield.
I really like that change too because it takes away just one of the quick hike. You know, everyone complains about the quick hike, snap, audible. It takes away one of the most OP plays.
And there you go. There's one of those zones dropping back. That was a play I think you were looking at a year or two ago. That ball would sail over his shoulder. Or you wouldn't, unless you were clicked on, you weren't making a play on that one. Yeah, obviously, you know, when we're talking about a new game, I think we tend to steer towards talking about the offensive changes because there are players want to do. They want to go score points. But I think it's important that, you know, the word I think you keep bringing up, and I think you're going to hear a lot throughout this video, is balance. It's for every offensive ad, we're giving something defensively that gives them a chance to counter that.
Right. And once the game gets in the hands of our players and they get a chance to lab, at some point, offense or defense is going to swing the pendulum in their favor. But it's a very tough job for us to try to balance, but we really put a lot of time and effort into trying to make sure there's something that counters everything.
Good knockout.
Great knockout.
Yeah, they breaking on that pass.
Yes, sir.
One thing I'm noticing from this year to last year is how the cornerbacks and the safeties there don't really need knockout abilities to break on the ball, get knockouts.
Obviously, last year, knockout was probably one of the, you could make the argument that it was the most important.
I think most would say it was the most important ability.
You could definitely
without
make that argument. And whereas players with knockout are still going to knock out more passes this year, it's not a necessity. If a player is there and he is there in time to make a play, you should have a chance to knock the ball out, especially depending on the catch and traffic rating of the receiver.
Boy, it does feel like, as we're getting to see a little bit of those run plays, if you're at home, we're talking about the catch animations, those catch windows. If you're up at home and you're like, I'm a runner, okay? I want to tote the ball. I want to pound the rock. The new and improved blocking schemes, I think, makes running a viable offense.
For sure.
Especially here in 24.
Yeah, a lot of improvements went into run. You're going to see some new pull blockers if you want to run toss and those plays to get you outside. But I think the thing that I'm most excited about is our targeting. Like, in the past, we had an issue where blockers would try to determine where the running back wanted to go. And that led to them just being unpredictable. Yeah, like you didn't know where they was going to go. This year, they're just very decisive. They get it in the open field, they target who they want to block, and they get action.
Oh, no. It's just...
One thing I also noticed pretty mainly is that last year there was a real big problem with like receivers bumping off their routes. And, you know, just random things would happen. Right now I'm seeing just really fluid routes. People, like, my receivers aren't really getting bumped off their patterns, and I'm really liking that, honestly.
Yeah, effort went into that, too. It's crazy. I didn't know if that would be noticed, especially considering it's that first game. But that's a real frustrating point for a user because everything like that you see, it feels like illegal touching or illegal holding or a PI is something. You're looking like, man, what's happening to my receiver? So some effort went to letting those guys resolve that bump faster and get him back into his route.
It seems like when I pass commit, I'm getting like not super animations, but like I'm getting a much better pass rush animation. Like they really trying to rush the passer rather than just sit there and, you know, play patty cake with it.
Yeah, if you pass commit, especially on these play action plays, you are basically canceling out your defensive line or your pass rushers, even considering the fact that it's a run. They're going to go right into that pass rush assignment, which is going to allow them to shed blocks a bit faster. So I don't know if going to that play action is going to be the move this year.
Well, you saw right there, a defender behind the receiver went for a swat instead of playing the receiver, which is so refreshing to see.
It is, man. It is. It's so many times in the past I felt like if I didn't click on and do something, nothing happened. And that's a frustrating moment as well.
Gregory Russo making the play. They're former Miami Hurricane.
You know it.
I'm sorry, I had to give you the shot. I knew you were a Miami fan. So.
Goodness. What a
Gotcha.
break.
I appreciate it. Beautiful there. Got a high pass there, but again, able to react to that receiver on the spot and knock that ball out.
Well, it also feels like when you're seeing the drops in those collisions, like it feels warranted.
Feels appropriate.
Because you had some of those drops last year where it would just be like a pretty light collision, they'd still
Right.
drop it, or the push from behind collision. Now you're seeing these big hits prying the ball free, and it feels like, okay, I understood why my receiver didn't hold on to that one.
Yeah, it feels appropriate. And again, I keep going back to this. It looks like football. At the end of the day, we just want this game to look and feel like football.
One of the things to, I think, take a note of as we're going through this game and we're seeing these guys, obviously these guys haven't labbed up what they're going to be playing this year. They're going around is a lot of credit to the playbook team because last year, big cut down in plays. This year, it feels like we've added a bunch of plays, and there's a lot of new looks out there.
Every single team just got more content added in. Like you brought up, last year was an effort to reduce playbooks, try to get some of the clutter out. Some players were not happy with that reduction. And
that was
like you
nasty.
said, the playbook team came back. That might be something new as well.
That was nasty. We're talking about playbooks. We have the fake reverse jet sweep.
To the house. But yeah, that playbook team went crazy, man. Every single team has new stuff in it, and
Well,
you
I
get a
think
chance to
Clef's
laugh.
going to get the game and be like, all right, I got to lab against this
Oh,
wide
definitely.
receiver power fake jet. Like,
I went cross-eyed right there. I didn't know where the ball was going. We had some people going left, right. That was crazy.
I mean, that. By the way, that is quintessential NFL football these days. So much misdirection out there because these defensive players are so fast and powerful. You have to make them at least look the wrong way.
Got to fool them.
As we just saw there, like I'm really liking like just the creativity in this game. I remember like last in MCS, I was like the only one running. Like I ran like tight end jet sweeps and stuff, so I love stuff like that, honestly.
Oh, that's dope.
Seeing stuff like that.
I definitely think the stuff that's been done in playbooks this year, I would not be surprised to see some off-meta stuff. You're going to see somebody in a
Make some
playbook
runs.
running some stuff you have flat out never seen work or never seen even be ran. We got toss plays working
in Madden again?
Couldn't have queued it up any better. Toss plays. Like I said, the run game, this open field targeting is something that you can feel instantly. You're going to pick the control up, you're going to call a run play, and you're going to see those offensive linemen getting action.
It feel like they're not just running to empty grass. Like they actually getting to the next level and climbing and blocking people.
They definitely are. Now, I don't know if that was the same play.
Call this play again.
I was about to say. Now let's talk about real-time AI adjustments. This is something that if the same run play is ran a number of times, and that number is going to vary depending on what difficulty you're on, but if you're running the same play over and over and over,
Look
what
at
you're
that
going to
linebacker,
see,
the run fit shot the gap on the outside.
Defensive players in the run gap, in run fit, what you're going to see these guys do is they're going to leave read and react a lot faster. They're just going to shoot their gaps. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be a tackle for a loss. It doesn't mean that they're going to always blow the play
So it's
up.
not like 1988 games where like you ran the same play 3 times, automatic TFL.
Right. But what you're going to see is a difference in their behavior. You're going to see how quick they shoot the gaps.
So it does feel like that does allow some of the more chess player play callers to set it up, running some inside zone, some of those inside A-gap runs, then hit them with a toss play.
It would be beautiful, and that's what we want. We want to open up the playbook. We want players to feel more confident running other plays.
That was a nice
I
play.
think that's going to be a good man beater, just running with the quarterback.
Look at Dawson Knox. Pumping up the crowd.
Yeah, I was about to say the post-play team went crazy, too. You're going to see not only new celebrations. We had new celebrations every year, but the thing that they did this year that I really liked, just emotion. And if I'm not mistaken, look on the left side, because I feel like
He
Diggs.
fried.
Diggs fried him. Oh, my God.
He fried. He like, Coach, I'm wide open.
See ya.
Throw me the ball.
I think we're going to see some of the improved downfield blocking here. Little slip screen action. Look at the
62.
offensive lineman. The offensive lineman is down the field and not just creating a convoy.
And getting the action, like getting in the field and getting down the field to get action. I love it.
I think one thing I'm already noticing that's really improved is the just the offensive line IQ, honestly. Like, you just saw him right there. He picked up. Last year, like, he was just, a lot of the time, he would just whiff on that block and really made screens unrunnable. So I'm really liking that right now.
I'm going to record that clip and take it back to the guys that work on blocking. Those guys, man, they got a hard job. I don't envy them at all, but they put a lot of work in this year.
And that's Trey White, too.
In the zone.
I think his zone range is actually pretty high in this game. I could be wrong. It's not bad.
I think it's pretty high.
And last year and years past, like, you had